Weakness isn't always physical, it often begins in the mind. It's the doubt that creeps in when the weight feels too heavy or when the journey feels too long. That mental weakness is more dangerous than any physical limitation because it sets the tone for how far you'll go. If your mind bows down to weakness, your body will follow. But if your mind declares war against it, your body will rise to meet the challenge. Strength begins in the way you think, and killing weakness means training your mind to believe you're capable, even when everything around you screams otherwise. When you're in the gym, your muscles may give signals of fatigue, but the real battle is happening in your thoughts. Weakness whispers, "It's enough, you've done plenty." Strength shouts back, "One more rep, one more set, one more push." That conversation happens daily, and those who learn to silence weakness in their minds become the ones who achieve results others can only dream of. The mental war is non-stop, but champions sharpen their mindset until it becomes unshakable. Killing weakness means removing the comfort zone that your mind craves. Comfort will always look attractive. It's the easier option, the safer path. But comfort never built strong bodies or strong lives. You must train your mind to embrace discomfort, to see struggle as proof that growth is happening. Every time you stay in your comfort zone, you let weakness thrive. Every time you step out of it, you bury weakness deeper into the ground. Weakness also thrives on fear. The fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of not being good enough. That fear paralyzes people before they even begin. But the truth is, failure is not your enemy, it is your teacher. Judgment is not your threat, it is your test. When you stop allowing fear to dictate your actions, weakness loses its power over you. Fear only controls the ones who listen. Strength belongs to the ones who act anyway. Your mindset is a muscle just like your body, and it must be trained daily. If you only train your body but ignore your mind, weakness will always find a backdoor into your life. Read, learn, reflect, and surround yourself with people who fuel strength, not excuses. The more you train your mind, the less room weakness has to grow. Weakness doesn't survive in a disciplined, focused, and powerful mind. Another way weakness creeps into the mind is through comparison. When you compare your journey to others, you invite doubt, envy, and frustration into your thoughts. Comparison is weakness disguised as motivation. The only comparison that matters is you versus the version of yourself from yesterday. If you're stronger today than you were yesterday, weakness is dying and strength is rising. Killing mental weakness means becoming brutally honest with yourself. Excuses are lies we tell ourselves to protect our comfort, but honesty forces you to confront the reality of your effort. Did you really push hard, or did you quit early? Did you give everything, or did you settle? Honesty burns weakness away because it doesn't allow you to hide behind lies. Weakness hates truth, but strength thrives on it. Your goals are the compass that keep your mind on track. Without goals, weakness will pull you in 100 different directions. When you set clear, powerful goals, your mind gains focus, and weakness has no room to distract you. A clear vision is like armor. It protects your mind when doubt or fatigue try to break you. The stronger your vision, the weaker your excuses become. Weakness will always try to disguise itself as reason. It will tell you you need rest, when really you need discipline. It will say you've already done enough, when you know deep down you've got more in you. It's subtle, but if you learn to recognize it, you can shut it down before it steals your progress. Mastering your thoughts is the ultimate kill shot against weakness. At the end of the day, the mind controls everything. A weak mind creates a weak body, but a strong mind builds a life of strength, resilience, and victory. If you want to kill weakness, start with your thoughts. Protect them, train them, sharpen them. Because once your mind becomes unbreakable, there is no weight too heavy, no obstacle too big, and no dream too far. Weakness cannot live in a mind that has decided to win. Weakness shows itself in the body when you let it win in your daily habits. Skipping workouts, giving half your effort, or letting fatigue dictate your pace are all signs that weakness is running the show. Every rep you cut short, every set you abandon, every excuse you entertain, it all feeds weakness. If you allow it to survive in your routine, it will multiply. And soon your body will reflect that lack of discipline. But when you choose to push past those urges, when you refuse to quit even when your muscles scream, you start killing weakness with action. The gym is the battleground where weakness tries to take over. That burning sensation in your arms, that trembling in your legs, that pounding in your chest, they're all tests. Weakness will try to convince you that those sensations are reasons to stop. But in reality, they are proof that growth is happening. Every time you push through the burn, you're not just building muscle, you're building resilience. Killing weakness in the body means redefining pain as progress, not punishment. Weakness thrives in comfort, and the body craves comfort more than anything. It wants the soft couch, the easy meal, the long sleep. But greatness has never been born from comfort. The body transforms only when it is challenged, when it is pushed to the edge, when it is forced to adapt. Killing weakness means denying comfort and demanding more from yourself, rep after rep, day after day. The strongest bodies aren't built by avoiding struggle, they're built by embracing it. Weakness says, stop, it hurts too much. Strength answers, keep going, you're not done yet. This dialogue happens in every training session, and the outcome determines whether you grow or stagnate. If you listen to weakness, you'll stay average. But if you choose strength, you'll separate yourself from the crowd and move closer to becoming unstoppable. Every time you walk into the gym, you face two versions of yourself. The one who wants to quit and the one who wants to conquer. Weakness is the voice of the quitter. Strength is the voice of the conqueror. Killing weakness in the body means giving the conqueror the louder voice every single day. It means letting the stronger version of you win, no matter how tough the battle gets. One skipped session turns into a week. One missed set turns into a habit. Weakness grows when you give it permission. It's like a weed, it starts small, but if you ignore it, it will take over the entire garden of your progress. The only way to kill it is to starve it. Show up consistently, train hard, and never give it an inch. Weakness cannot survive in the body of someone who refuses to quit. Killing weakness also means rejecting excuses. Your body doesn't care if you're tired, busy, or stressed. Those are the moments weakness feeds on. But when you show up despite those obstacles, your body learns discipline. Excuses may feel comfortable in the moment, but they rob you of results in the long run. Strength is built when you choose effort over excuse, no matter the circumstances. Weakness wants you to settle for good enough. It will say, you've done more than most, that's enough. But the body isn't transformed by average effort. It's transformed by relentless pursuit of better. Killing weakness means refusing to settle. It means aiming higher, lifting heavier, running faster, and demanding more from yourself than you thought possible. Settling is weakness in disguise. Refusal to settle is strength in action. Every rep, every set, every workout is a chance to kill weakness. The body becomes a reflection of the choices you make, either the choice to let weakness live or the choice to bury it. Every drop of sweat is proof that weakness is dying. Every sore muscle is a trophy of your victory over it. The body doesn't lie. It will always tell the story of whether weakness is alive or dead within you. Ultimately, killing weakness in the body isn't just about muscle. It's about identity. When you train with intensity, discipline, and purpose, you're not just building a stronger body. You're proving to yourself that weakness has no place in your life. That power carries beyond the gym. It fuels your work, your relationships, your dreams. Kill weakness in the body, and you'll kill it everywhere else too. Strength will become not just what you do, but who you are. Weakness of the mind is the invisible weight that stops more people than any heavy barbell ever could. It tells you to give up before you even start. It convinces you that others are stronger, smarter, or better, and it plants seeds of doubt that grow into chains holding you back. But the truth is, those chains are only as strong as your belief in them. Once you refuse to listen to that voice, once you choose action over hesitation, you start breaking free from mental weakness. Every time you walk into the gym when you don't feel like it, you're not just training your body, you're training your mind. That decision becomes proof that you control your mind, not the other way around. Weakness in the mind is the deadliest weakness because it doesn't just slow you down, it convinces you to stop. It convinces you that failure is permanent, that struggle means you're not capable, and that success is only for other people. But that is the lie weakness feeds you. The mind will always try to take the easy path, and weakness uses that to its advantage. The truth is, the harder path is the one that transforms you. When you step into the gym, your muscles aren't the only thing being tested. Your mindset is under fire too. Every rep you push through when you want to quit is not just building strength, it's rewriting the language of your mind. Instead of saying, "I can't," you begin to say, "I will." Instead of believing in limits, you begin to believe in possibilities. That is how you kill mental weakness, by refusing to give it a voice. Weakness in your habits is often the silent killer of progress. It's not the one big mistake that ruins your growth, it's the small daily choices that seem harmless but add up over time. Skipping one workout may not feel like a big deal, but when that becomes a pattern, it eats away at your consistency. Eating junk food once may feel like nothing, but when it turns into a lifestyle, it destroys the body you're working so hard to build. Weakness hides in comfort, and comfort weakness in your habits is the slow poison that destroys progress without you even noticing. It's not just about skipping a heavy workout, it's about what you repeatedly allow yourself to do every single day. If you keep giving in to laziness, excuses, or distractions, those small moments stack up and eventually create the version of you that can't reach your dreams. Habits shape destiny, and weakness in habits is what keeps people stuck in the same cycle year after year. Every time you choose the couch over the gym, you're casting a vote for weakness. Every time you tell yourself, "I'll start tomorrow," you're strengthening the chains that hold you back. Weakness loves tomorrow because tomorrow never comes. Strength is built in today, in this moment, when you decide to do what you said you would do. Winning is not about massive leaps. It's about stacking small disciplined choices day after day until they transform you. Habits are like bricks. You either build a wall of strength or a cage of weakness. When you commit to disciplined habits, you build the wall that protects your dreams, a fortress that nothing can shake. But when you feed weakness through bad habits, you build a cage that traps you, leaving you frustrated, angry, and empty. The choice is always yours. Are you building or are you trapping yourself? Weakness in habits also disguises itself as comfort. It feels good in the moment to take it easy, to eat what you crave, to skip what feels hard. But comfort is the most dangerous trap, because it steals your future. Weakness in discipline is one of the biggest reasons dreams die before they are ever achieved. Discipline is the backbone of greatness, the structure that holds everything together when motivation fades. Without it, you're at the mercy of how you feel in the moment, and feelings are unreliable. One day you feel like training, the next day you don't. One day you feel like eating clean, the next day you crave junk. If you only act when you feel like it, weakness wins every single time. Discipline is the ability to do what you said you would do, long after the excitement of starting is gone. That's why weakness loves to attack your discipline. It knows if it can break that, everything else will fall apart. It will whisper to you that missing one workout won't matter, that hitting snooze just this once won't make a difference, that eating off plan won't hurt. But the truth is, every time you give in, you train yourself to choose weakness over strength. Weakness in discipline is the silent destroyer of potential. You can have the biggest dreams, the strongest desire, and even the clearest plan. But if you don't have the discipline to stick to it, those dreams will never come alive. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to become, and weakness tries to burn that bridge every single day. The temptation to weakness in discipline is the crack in the foundation that eventually brings the whole structure down. You can have vision, strength, and talent, but without discipline, it will all collapse under pressure. Discipline is what transforms potential into progress, and weakness knows that if it can destroy your discipline, it can destroy your future. That's why the real war is not fought with weights in your hands, but with decisions in your mind. When you let weakness guide your discipline, you fall into the trap of inconsistency. You train hard one day and skip the next. You eat clean for a week, then binge the following week. That inconsistency keeps you stuck in the same place, spinning your wheels without going forward. Discipline is about showing up again and again. Not sometimes, not when it's convenient, but every single time. Weakness disguises itself as harmless choices. It says, just skip today, you can make it up tomorrow. It whispers, one bad meal won't hurt, one missed session doesn't matter. But those little choices are seeds. Weakness in focus is a hidden thief. It doesn't come at you head on, it slips in quietly, stealing minutes, stealing effort, stealing intensity. You might be in the gym for 2 hours, but if half that time is wasted on distractions, your progress is cut in half. Weakness thrives on distraction, because distraction keeps you busy but not productive. It makes you feel like you're working, when in reality, you're standing still. Focus is a weapon. It takes every ounce of your energy and drives it toward a single target. Without focus, your energy scatters like broken glass, sharp but useless. Weakness wants you scattered because scattered energy has no power. A focused mind can turn 30 minutes of training into a session more powerful than someone else's 2 hours. That is the difference between those who transform and those who stay the same. Distraction may feel small, but it compounds. Checking your phone between sets, talking too long, letting your mind wander, it adds up. Soon you realize you've spent more time on everything except the very reason you walked through those gym doors. Weakness whispers, relax, take your time, you deserve a break. Focus says, remember why you're here. Only one of those voices will get you results. Weakness of focus doesn't just cost you reps, it costs you dreams. Every minute lost to distraction is a minute you never get back. While you scroll, someone else is grinding. While you drift, someone else is sharpening. That gap widens until you can no longer catch up, and all because you let weakness steal your attention. Focus is also about intensity. It's not enough to just show up, you have to be present. Weakness wants you to go through the motions, to do reps without heart, to lift without passion. But focus demands that every movement matters, every rep counts. Every breath pushes you forward. When you train with full focus, you're not just building muscle, you're building unshakable discipline. When your focus is sharp, even obstacles become opportunities. A tough set becomes a test of your will. A heavy weight becomes a chance to grow. Weakness wants you to avoid discomfort, but focus helps you embrace it, knowing that discomfort is where the transformation happens. Without focus, you'll run from struggle. With focus, you'll run through it. The greatest athletes, the greatest champions, are not always the strongest or the fastest. They are the most focused. They know how to block out noise, ignore distractions, and lock their vision on the prize. Weakness cannot survive in that kind of environment because weakness thrives on chaos. Focus creates clarity, and clarity destroys weakness. The gym is the perfect training ground for focus because it demands your full attention. If you're not focused when you lift heavy, you risk injury. If you're not focused when you train, you waste energy. Weakness knows this and tries to sneak into every session. But each time you lock in, you train not just your body, but your mind to reject distraction. Outside the gym, that same focus carries into your life. The ability to lock in on goals, to ignore negativity, to push through distractions, it all starts with the same discipline you build under the weights. Weakness in focus outside the gym keeps people stuck in jobs they hate, stuck in routines that kill their dreams. But a focused mind creates opportunities, growth, and victory. In the end, weakness in focus is a choice. You can allow yourself to be scattered, pulled in every direction, controlled by distractions. Or you can decide to lock in, to sharpen your vision until nothing can break it. The ones who win in the gym and in life are not the ones who had no weakness. They are the ones who refuse to let weakness steal their focus. Weakness in patience is one of the greatest traps you will ever face in the gym and in life. It creeps in silently, telling you that if results don't come fast enough, your effort is wasted. You start the grind with fire in your chest, but after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month, you look in the mirror and see only small changes. That's when impatience hits and weakness whispers, "This isn't working. Why keep going?" That whisper has killed more dreams than failure ever has. Patience is the invisible weight that most people refuse to lift. You can push iron, you can sweat, you can scream through the pain, but if you don't master patience, your progress will collapse. Building strength and sculpting a body is not an overnight reward. It's a slow burn, a process that requires discipline to stay committed long after excitement fades. Weakness in patience makes you believe results should be instant, but greatness is never instant. Every single rep you push is a deposit into your future. You may not see the reward today, you may not even feel it tomorrow, but with patience, those deposits compound into strength, into power, into transformation. Weakness in patience blinds you to the fact that growth is happening even when you can't see it yet. The gym is not just about breaking down muscle fibers, it's about building patience. That patience keeps you coming back when motivation is gone. It keeps you moving when the mirror mocks you. It keeps you grinding when results feel invisible. Weakness in patience, if you let it win, will make you quit right before the breakthrough comes. Think about how many people gave up at the 90-yard line of their journey. They had already endured the pain, the sweat, the sore mornings, but they lacked patience to take the final steps. That's what weakness in patience does. It robs you at the edge of victory. If you quit too soon, you never know how close you were to the body, the strength, and the confidence you were chasing. Patience is your weapon against weakness. It teaches you that progress is not about speed. It's about consistency. Weakness says, stop, nothing is happening. Patience says, keep going, everything is happening. Every time you choose patience over weakness, you choose growth over excuses. When you push through impatience, you train your mind the same way you train your body. Your muscles grow under tension, and so does your discipline. You cannot build strength without resistance, and patience is the resistance of the mind. If you master it, nothing can stop your progress. Weakness in patience convinces people that shortcuts will save them. But shortcuts only create false confidence that crumbles under pressure. True strength, true results, true transformation only come from those willing to endure the long road, the steady grind, the unseen progress. You must learn to celebrate small victories. Every extra rep, every heavier weight, every day you show up is proof that patience is alive in you. Weakness in patience despises small progress, but champions know that small progress is the only way to massive progress. At the end of the day, weakness in patience will either break you or build you. If you give in, your dreams die slowly. If you overcome it, you'll discover that patience is the secret power behind every champion. Results don't belong to those who start fast. They belong to those who refuse to quit, no matter how long it takes. Weakness in patience is one of the most silent killers of dreams. You step into the gym, you give everything for a week, maybe a month, and when the results don't scream back at you immediately, impatience starts to whisper, it's not working. That weakness convinces you to quit just when the seeds of your effort are beginning to sprout. You see, progress in fitness, like progress in life, is not instant. It's earned over time in sweat, in discipline, in persistence. But weakness in patience blinds you to the process and robs you of the reward. Patience is the muscle that too many forget to train. Just like your biceps or your chest, patience must be strengthened through repetition. Every day you show up without seeing instant results, you are training patience. Every rep you grind through when the mirror hasn't yet reflected your effort, you are training patience. Weakness in patience makes you abandon the journey before the transformation can take hold, while strength in patience keeps you walking forward until you arrive at your goal. Think about a sculptor chiseling away at stone. The masterpiece doesn't appear after the first strike, or the 10th, or the 100th. But with every strike, the shape takes form. The gym works the same way. Every set, every rep, every drop of sweat is a strike against that stone. Weakness in patience makes you throw down the chisel too soon, but strength keeps you striking until the masterpiece is revealed. Impatience is dangerous because it tricks you into shortcuts. It whispers that there's an easier way, a faster path, a magic solution. But shortcuts don't last. They give you temporary gains that fade as quickly as they came. Weakness in patience leaves you chasing quick fixes instead of building foundations that stand strong for life. Your body doesn't transform overnight because greatness never grows overnight. The champions you admire, the physiques you respect, were not built in weeks, they were built in years. Patience is the secret ingredient behind every success story. Weakness in patience makes you compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10, and that comparison crushes your drive. But strength in patience reminds you that your time is coming if you just stay the course. In the gym, weakness in patience is seen in those who constantly switch programs. Jump from one trend to another, hoping for faster results. They never give any routine the time it needs to work. They never let their bodies adapt and grow. But those who master patience stay committed, trusting the process, and in time they see results that no quick fix could ever match. Patience is not passive. It's power under control. It's knowing that every small action is stacking up, even if you can't see it yet. Weakness in patience makes you want everything now, but strength teaches you to invest today for the reward tomorrow. That's how legacies are built, not through impatience, but through endurance. When you train with patience, you free yourself from frustration. You stop asking, "Why don't I see it yet?" and instead declare, "I know it's coming." That mindset shift is everything. Weakness in patience leads to disappointment. Strength in patience leads to faith, consistency, and ultimately, transformation. The dream you have doesn't die because it's impossible, it dies because you gave up too soon. Weakness in patience convinces you that slow progress is no progress. But slow progress is still forward progress. Every step counts, every day counts. The only thing that truly wastes your time is quitting. In the end, weakness in patience will kill your dreams by making you blind to the progress already happening. But when you kill weakness in patience, you gain unstoppable momentum. You keep showing up, you keep pushing, and one day you look in the mirror and realize you are living proof of what happens when patience and effort work together. That is the victory that weakness can never steal. Weakness in self. Belief is the most dangerous weakness of all, because it kills you before the weights ever could. You can have the perfect program, the cleanest diet, the most expensive supplements, but if deep down you don't believe you're capable of becoming stronger, faster, or greater, you'll sabotage yourself before you even begin. Self-belief is the engine that fuels every rep, every set, every sacrifice. Without it, weakness becomes your identity, and you convince yourself that greatness was meant for others, but not for you. When you walk into the gym, the battle is not just with the weights, it's with your mind. Weakness in self-belief whispers, you can't lift that, you're not built for this, you'll never look like them. That voice is the heaviest weight in the room. But when you kill that weakness and replace it with self-belief, you step under the bar with a different energy. You might not get it today, but you believe one day you will. And that belief pushes you further than doubt ever could. Weakness in self-belief makes you quit before you try. It convinces you that failure defines you, but failure is not the end. It is proof that you are reaching beyond your limits. Those who lack self-belief run from failure. Those who have it embrace failure as fuel. Every missed lift, every tough set, every broken rep becomes a stepping stone, not a gravestone. The body will only go as far as the mind allows. Weakness in self-belief builds mental walls that stop you from even attempting the impossible. It convinces you that your genetics, your age, your circumstances, or your past define your future. But the truth is, belief destroys barriers. The moment you truly believe in yourself, you'll attack weights, routines, and challenges that once looked impossible. In the gym, progress is often invisible at first. That's when weakness in self-belief hits hardest. You don't see abs after 1 week. You don't build strength after one workout. And doubt creeps in, telling you it's pointless. But self-belief says, stay the course. It trusts the process when the results aren't visible yet. That's why champions push through the dark phases, the unseen work, the invisible grind. Weakness in self-belief also makes you compare yourself to everyone around you. You look at the guy benching 3 plates or the girl running miles with ease and think, I'll never get there. But self-belief tells you that your journey is unique. It says, I'm not competing with them, I'm competing with the person I was yesterday. That mindset transforms jealousy into fuel and comparison into focus. The gym is a mirror for life. Weakness in self-belief doesn't just hurt your progress in fitness, it bleeds into your career, your relationships, your dreams. If you don't believe you're worthy of success, you won't chase it with everything you've got. But when you kill weakness in self-belief, you stop waiting for permission to chase greatness, you give yourself permission. Weakness in self-belief thrives in negativity. It feeds on every mistake, every shortcoming, every flaw. But belief flips the script. It says your mistakes are lessons, your shortcomings are opportunities, your flaws are proof that you're human, but not proof that you're powerless. With belief, every weakness becomes a reason to fight harder. Belief is not arrogant, it's power. Arrogance says, I'm already enough. Belief says, I will become enough. Arrogance makes you settle, but belief pushes you to rise. Weakness in self-belief is the reason people live average lives. Strength in self-belief is the reason others rise from nothing and build empires inside the gym and outside of it. In the end, weakness in self-belief is like rust on steel. It eats you from the inside out until you break. But if you strengthen your mind, if you speak belief into yourself every single day, nothing can kill your dream. You become unstoppable because the hardest battle, weakness in comfort, is the silent killer of dreams, and the gym is the perfect battleground to expose it. Every time you hit that snooze button instead of lacing up your shoes, you let comfort win. Every time you say, I'll go tomorrow, you feed weakness and starve your potential. Growth doesn't live in the soft pillow or the warm bed. Growth lives in the pain of the last rep, in the sweat dripping down your face, in the burning lungs that tell you you're alive and pushing forward. If you allow comfort to dictate your choices, weakness takes control, and it will smother your greatness. When you step into the gym, comfort screams for you to stop the moment things get hard. It tells you the weight is too heavy, the set is too long, the grind isn't worth it. But that's exactly when you need to silence comfort and push harder. Because the truth is simple. The moment you feel like stopping is the exact moment you start growing. Comfort is weakness dressed up as relief, but that relief is temporary. The pain of staying weak is forever. Think about it. Every rep you push past the pain, every time you finish a workout when your body says quit, you are burying weakness. The comfort you crave gives you nothing in return. It doesn't make you stronger, faster, or sharper. It leaves you in the same spot, living with the same frustrations, stuck with the same body, the same energy, and the same regrets. Killing weakness means rejecting comfort, even when your mind screams for it, even when it feels unbearable. Weakness thrives in excuses, and excuses are the poison that destroy potential before it ever has a chance to grow. In the gym, excuses show up in simple phrases: I don't have time, I'm too tired, or I'll start on Monday. But every time you speak those words, you're not just skipping a workout. You're building a habit of surrender. Excuses are weakness whispering lies in your ear. And the more you listen, the stronger weakness becomes. When you kill your excuses, you take away weakness's greatest weapon. You strip it of the stories it hides behind. You stop giving it shelter. The barbell doesn't care if you had a long day. The treadmill doesn't care if you're tired. The iron has no sympathy, but it does have truth. It reveals whether you showed up or whether you let excuses dictate your choices. If you want to crush weakness, you have to silence the voice that tells you why you can't and replace it with the drive that asks, how can I? Every time you choose discipline over an excuse, you grow stronger, not just in muscle, but in character. You prove to yourself that you're not a slave to weakness. You prove that your goals matter more than your comfort. This battle isn't just physical, it's mental warfare. Weakness will always try to negotiate with you, offering 1,000 reasons to quit. Your job is to shut it down and move anyway. Excuses may seem harmless in the moment, but they add up over time. One skipped workout becomes two become a week, and before long, weakness has built a fortress around your dreams. Killing excuses means breaking that cycle before it destroys your momentum. It means standing up and saying, no more. My goals come first. The gym is the training ground where you practice this war daily. Every rep you push when you could have quit, every session you complete when you didn't feel like starting, is a victory over weakness. Excuses die when you show up consistently, when you choose action over words. Progress doesn't care about your stories, it only responds to effort. Weakness loves comfort and thrives on procrastination. If you let it, it will drain your potential one excuse at a time until nothing is left but regret. But when you make the decision to cut off excuses at the root, you reclaim your power, you reclaim your time, your strength, and your destiny. Weakness loves comfort zones. It thrives in the places where you feel safe, where you avoid pushing your limits, where everything feels easy. But growth never lives in comfort. Comfort is the enemy of strength. If you only ever stay in the zone where nothing hurts, where no sweat drips, where no burn sets your muscles on fire, then you're not growing. You're just surviving. Weakness clings to survival mode, but champions rise when they step into discomfort and embrace it. Every time you lift a weight heavier than the last, every time you grind through that final rep when your muscles are screaming to quit, you're killing weakness. Comfort wants you to rack the bar early, to leave the gym when you still have more in you. But the growth, you're chasing lives in that extra set, in that last painful rep, in the zone where most people stop. That's where champions are built, on the other side of comfort. Comfort whispers, stay the same. Strength demands change. Comfort says, you've done enough. Discipline says, do more. Weakness takes the side of comfort every time because it knows that as long as you avoid struggle, it survives. But once you accept that discomfort is the price of greatness, you'll no longer fear it. You'll crave it. Think about the burn in your muscles. Most people run from it, but the burn is proof that change is happening. The burn means weakness is dying. At the end of the day, it's not just about lifting weights, building muscles, or chasing a perfect body. It's about fighting the weakness inside you that tries to keep you small, that whispers for you to give up, that tells you your dreams are too far away. Every rep, every drop of sweat, every moment of pain is proof that you're still in the fight. Weakness wants to take your future, but strength is your birthright. Remember this, the weights will get lighter, the pain will fade, but the regret of giving up will never leave you. So choose strength, choose discipline, choose to rise, because your dreams are waiting, and they're only reserved for the ones who refuse to quit.